Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, aim.
Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing this afternoon? It's your boy Doc Holiday, and we back. With our top 10 live about HBCU OverDrive. Make sure that you like this stream, comment, share. Most of all, subscribe to the channel to get everything. Go ahead and get everything HBCU OverDrive. We see who we got up in here. We got Mr. J up in here. Holla, what's going on, nephew? We got Miss Quay right here, the head moderator. Make sure you check in with her before you say anything silly, or she will block you. And then we got Miss KD. What's going on, man? How you doing? Appreciate it. And as always, we are broadcast live between YouTube and Twitter. So all the folks on Twitter, make your way over to the dark side of YouTube and hit that subscribe button. What we got? Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. That will be on Friday. That'll be on Friday. We'll talk about that and we'll see what we got going on. But before we get into it, gonna give you a word as far as the commercial goes. Be right back. It's your boy Doc Holiday. Become a subscriber on HBCU OverDrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_OverDrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shout outs, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU OverDrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket. Oh, who we else got up in here? We got Antonio. What's going on, my guy? How you doing, Miss Mary? She representing that 305 and she's like one of the few of my favorite rappers that I like to have on the show over here. Appreciate you. But let's go ahead and before we get into all that, make sure y'all stop by the store on the YouTube page for all your HBCU OverDrive merch. I'm still working on getting some more stuff in, so make sure you check this out. Check everything out that we have right here. All you have to do, just go onto the page, what you want to put on click on what you want to get, your favorite color, any color right here, and then just go ahead and everything works, it works wonders. So other than that, let me show you how it's done. Let me show you how it's done. You got your hoodie, add to cart, whatever size you want to get, whatever color you want to get, add it to the cart. Then once you add it to the cart, you know what I'm saying, you got your checkout. Check it out. And then you want to do expedite, You want to do expedited, that's $11.26. You want to do standard shipping, that's $8.76. And then, of course, you got the sales tax, and then basically everything is all totaled out. Everything helps out. Basically, it goes towards this. Will go back towards the channel right here. So if you want to go ahead and put all your items and stuff in here, but other than that, man, this is how it is. But go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Go ahead and delete that right there. So you'll know what we have right now. But like I said, we're working on some other things. I'm working on trying to get some other things right now, how to get some other stuff designed. I'm going to try to have some FTP shirts and hoodies for all your home for when it gets cold outside. So we're gonna have everything. We're gonna have everything straight and settled and everything. So yeah, that's how we gonna do it. That's how we're gonna do it. Oh, she just got home from work. It make work on my boy like a Hebrew slave right here, man. I can't do it. Can't do it. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into it. I still have my other hoodies, the black and white. If you want to go ahead and get those, we can get those out of the way. But let's go ahead and get it started. So we're gonna start off on the D2 level, and for all my people that I hope you don't get mad. How we gonna get the who I have at my number one? But don't get mad, please don't. What up, Jeremiah? What's going on, man? But let's get into it. Coming in my number 10 spot. Coming in the number 10 spot. First of all, let me not start at the 10th spot. Let me give my honorable mentions for D2, for my rankings for D2. Right now, I have Livingstone College sitting at 1-1 with a victory. This past weekend, Elizabeth City State had a big victory this past weekend, and Fort Valley State only had one loss, but I have them as in my honorable mention. But let's go ahead and get to it. Coming in at number 10, I have Winston-Salem State. They are coming off of a loss to the Aggies of in Greensboro, North Carolina A&T. And if y'all watched the show on Sunday with HBCU Nightly, you already know there is no love lost between those two schools right there. And then coming in at number 9 is making their entrance into my top 10 is Bluefield State. They're coming in at 1-1. They had a big victory this past weekend. And I think it was at home. So my whole thing is they come in, they did what they did, and they make my top 10. So we'll talk about them as far as games coming up this coming weekend. For this weekend on Friday. Coming in at number 8, I have Edward Waters. They're 1-1. They're coming off of a 10-point loss to Florida Memorial. So basically, Flomo started off fast, did not let up. They kind of gave Edward Waters. Edward Waters scored like late in the fourth quarter, but they could not. They couldn't. For some reason, Flomo has had Edward Waters' number the last couple of years. My whole thing is, will they bounce back? They have Alcorn this weekend down at the reservation. We shall see what happens on that. Number 7 and making their debut in my top 10. Number 7 coming in at my top 10 is West Virginia State. They started off, they coming in at 1-0. Big victory in their opening game this past weekend. We'll get into them a little bit later. Like I said, when it comes down to doing the previews and picks for the show on Friday, we'll get into that on Friday. Number 6. I had a tough time. I was scratching my head on it. I was trying to see if I could flip-flop. Number 6, I have Virginia State coming in at number 6. They took a 5-point loss to Norfolk State on Saturday. Very hard-fought game. At one point, Virginia State was leading in this game and basically had Norfolk State on the ropes. But Norfolk basically said, hold my beer, and I have to score these the last 2 touchdowns, basically to pull away from the game. So West Virginia State is coming in at number 6. Coming in number 5, I will call them their twin brother, Virginia Union. They're coming off a loss to Hampton. What's that? I think it was 34-21, if I'm not mistaken. I say this: Jada Byers had another 100-yard game, and another 100-yard, 2-touchdown game. RJ Rosales was pretty much almost a non-factor in this game, where Hampton kind of just put the clamps on the passing game for Virginia Union. And like I said, they'll come back this coming weekend, see what they got going, making adjustments, and go on from there. Number 4. Boy, you've been picking my brain, have you? Number 4 is Fayetteville State. Now, they had their first game of the season this past Saturday. They come with a big win over UNC Pembroke. Close win, but it was still a win in our out-of-conference schedule. I have to read pretty much most of the stats because I've been busy trying to do my work and everything and some other stuff going on. But when we get back to it, we'll talk a little bit more about Fayetteville State coming in at number 4. Now, number 3, my top 3, like I said, you're going to be upset. I don't know if you're going to be upset, but my number 3 team is Shaw University. Shaw went down to South Georgia, took on Albany State on the blue turf now. Albany debuted their new turf. And basically won the game on a last second pass. I seen the highlight of it. QB scrambles around, avoids the pressure, and just swings it into the end zone. Receiver catches it. Receiver catches it coming towards the left. Touchdown. That's all I can say as far as with Shaw. Shaw is 2-0 now. From what I'm hearing, they said this is the first time Shaw has been 2-0 in like 14 years, 13 or 14 years. So Yeah, that was an impressive victory, and it was a cross conference victory too. So it was a SIAC CIAA CIAA matchup. Coming in at number 2, I have Clark Atlanta coming in at number 2, where they kind of eked out a win against Allen University. It was the first time that Coach Keaton and some of the players went up against um, their old football team. Very close game. Uh, Clark pulls out the win, 26-22. David Wright, 276 yards, and I think he had 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. But he also had an interception in this game. But basically, they did bounce back. They did bounce back to defeat Allen 26-22, and they will be. From what I'm hearing, I think they will be either have a bye week or they will be on the road. But watch out for this team right here in the side. Watch out for this team in Division 2. I feel like they could be real deal. They already knocked off Fort Valley. If they can knock off Tuskegee and Albany State, if they can knock off Tuskegee and Albany State, then you have to put them in the conversation about going to the playoffs. You also have to put them in the conversation with Coach Keaton as pretty much coach of the year. I had to check the schedule to see if they do play Miles. In fact, when I finish this, we'll go back and check the schedules, see when they play. But at my number 1 spot on my HBCU D2 top 10 is Johnson C. Smith coming in at 2-0 with a victory over Morehouse, 37-14. Basically, I am still impressed. I am very impressed about this defense that the Golden Bulls have. In fact, we can go ahead and see team stats. Team stats. Johnson C. Smith right now has Johnson C. Smith, defensive wise, is only giving up 13 points a game. Defensive wise. Offensively, they're 4th in the league as 29 points a game, but it's only 2 games. But best believe, man. Best believe they have some. They feel like they got something to play for. So Johnson C. Smith is my number 1 in the Division 2. But let's go back to Clark Atlanta. Where I was talking about the football standards, they're at 2-0. Edward Waters is the only other team that has a victory in this conference. Edward Waters is the only other team in this conference that have a victory. And they're sitting in 2nd place at 1-0 in conference. Clark is 2-0 in conference. Clark goes on the road to Miami Gardens to take on Florida Memorial. Will I call this a trap game? It can be that, but at the end of the day, I don't really see Flomo keeping up with this squad, especially the receivers that Clark has. On the 21st, they do go to Bethune-Cookman. They play Lane in Memphis, Savannah State on the 15th. So they have a bye week after they play Lane. They go play Savannah State at home. Then they go on the road on the 12th of October. They play Central State. October the 19th is Miles in Atlanta. The last 3 games are in Atlanta, of course, with Morehouse being across the way. That's the last game of the season. They have Miles and they have Tuskegee. I feel like Clark already took down Fort Valley. They have Miles, they have Tuskegee left on the docket. You beat your old team this past weekend. You have Bethune-Cookman on the 21st. I don't think you'll end up with a loss with Bethune. And that's just in my opinion right there. But if they can keep this up, Clark has a chance to run the whole table. Clark has a chance to run the whole table. Don't know. I mean, it's still early in the season. There's still a lot of football left. We don't know. We don't know how everything's going to turn out. Now, Johnson C. Smith, they are at home against Lincoln, Pennsylvania. Their two, I think their slate, their run to the CIAA championship, to me, is a little bit more. I would say, murky a little bit, because they still got to play both Virginia schools, Union and State. In fact, the best thing about this is they have both of those schools. They have both of those games at home. They have Shaw at home on the 19th. They go to Winston-Salem on the 26th of October, and November the 2nd, they have Fayetteville State at home. So Johnson C. Smith has a little bit more of a bumpier road to get to the CIAA championship than get to that championship than Clark has to get to theirs in the SIAC. So we shall figure out what happens in the next couple of weeks. And if you really think about this, they have their bye week for the Golden Bulls. Their bye week is October the 12th. So Johnson C. Smith plays 6 games straight before their bye week. And then they play the back end of their schedule, the last 4 on the back end. And then we could talk about Shaw and see where they're, what's going on. We could talk about Shaw and see how their schedule is. They have Catawba. That's a out of state. That's an out of conference game right there this weekend. Um, I mean, they're with Shaw, their three strongest game is going to be Union, at Johnson C. Smith, and at Fayetteville State. That's kind of like a heavy slate right there. But they got Catawba coming up, but we shall see. And we'll go through all these schedules too. Like, I feel like we could go through all the schedules to see where the first loss will come for either one of these teams right here. The Endowment Bowl, we ain't worried about it. We just know that Howard is going to destroy Morehouse. We just know Howard's going to destroy Morehouse. But well, let's go ahead and get into Division One. Let's go ahead and get into Division One and keep it. We're gonna keep this train rolling. Now, on the Division One level, my honorable mentions, got a couple of them. Alabama State, Hampton, Alabama A&M, Southern, and Norfolk State. As far as those are my honorable mentions for D1. A&M can get themselves into the conversation in the rank in the polls. With a win, of course, they're going to destroy Georgetown College. They're going to destroy Georgetown College, and then their game before their gauntlet starts. Jay White, what's your next game after Georgetown College? Put it in the chat. Austin P. So they can, I mean, easily go. You can easily be 3-1 or 2-2. Now, after that, that's when your gauntlet starts. Bama State is, to me, I think that's a different scenario. Alabama State, I think that's a different scenario. So I got that scheduled because they got Sanford this weekend in Birmingham, and then they're on the road to Daytona to end September. They have FAMU October the 5th in Montgomery. The next two games are in Montgomery. Valley is on the 12th, and then you got your bye week on the 26th. You have the MCC. So that's Bama State. Bro, that's diabolical right there. That is diabolical. Oh snap! That is that is nasty work right there. That's straight up nasty work, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. Hey, man, don't be dropping no. Hey, Blue, don't be coming in here dropping no bombs up in here, man. We try to have some fun, and these are my peaks right here. So, based off of me, what I saw. Uh, but anyway, man, let's get into it. Coming in at number 10. You said FAMU don't want an HBCU, but Florida State is nowhere to be found, sir. Ah. Hmm. Coming in at number 10 is Grambling. They are coming in at 1-1. They got a win. They got a win against Savannah State. I mean, not Savannah State, but Tuskegee, 37-20. Now, I have them at number 10, and I could have had them in my I could have had them in my honorable mention, and the only reason why I have them at number 10 is because they did look good in the first half. They pretty much Grambling pretty much shut out. Grambling pretty much shut out Tuskegee in the first half. They only had a 3-point score. They only scored 3 in the first half for Tuskegee, but in the second half, Grambling, it seemed like they just shut down, and basically Tuskegee came in and would you call it garbage points? I don't know, but at the same time, you can't. What Coach Joseph was saying yesterday is the fact that you cannot just let up like that. You just can't let up like that. And that's the reason why he was upset. It should if it me. He probably had them running stairs. He had them probably running stairs just after that. Like you gotta cut out all the knucklehead stuff. And he's not, like I said, the man is a no nonsense person right here. So he feel like he got a job to do. He got a job to do. He got to win. Oh man, coming in at number 9. Prairie View getting their first win of the season against Northwestern State with the goal line stand. With no time on the clock, the goal line stand. It just felt good. Cam Peters had a hell of a game on Saturday. My whole thing is defense has to do much better in their next game. But that will be afterwards because they go to East Lansing and take on the Spartans of Michigan State. But still, to get a win before you head on the road to take on a Power 4 team is a great thing. And just to bounce back from a loss to your rival is a lot, just a lot to say right there. But we shall see. Now they do have let me see. Let me get the schedule up. They do have game. They do have a big game on the 21st against Southern, and that is at home at Prairie View. And then they, of course, neutral site game, they'll be in Dallas to take on Grambling. So like I said, I'll be checking in on that game right there. And they have Incarnate Word. So I think those 3 games right there would tell the tale of how this team is going to be by the 5th. You know, like I said, by your 6th game, you really by your 4th game, you should know what you're about. You should know what you're about. So we should find out what they're about when they play Southern. And then, like I said, when they go into the State Fair Classic against Grambling, we should really know what they're about. And I should really go ahead and save my money so I can get my damn turkey leg, because this shit is like $20, man. Man, y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. Coming in at number 8, I got Texas Southern coming in at number 8, coming off a big loss against Rice. We all knew that. They just went down the street to the medical district and said, look, we just come in here, collect the check. We going back home to the 3rd ward. But, you know, the thing about it is with them, they a lot of us have written them off. The next game is on the 21st, so they actually have a bye week this week. But on the 21st, they head down to Beaumont to take on Lamar, and then they have Jackson State coming into Houston on the 28th. Homecoming is against Virginia Lynchburg on the 5th. I think that is correct, if I'm correct. And October the 12th is against Southern. So we shall see what this team is about by the time they play Jackson State. We'll see what they're about. I think they can get Lamar because Lamar is to me, just an undisciplined team. From what I saw on Saturday, that was just a pitiful football game. Even though they did get the win, against Mississippi Valley. They are an undisciplined team right there. But Texas Southern is coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 with their first win of the season is South Carolina State. The Bulldogs are 1-1 with a big win over the Citadel, 23-20 on Saturday. Chennisberry gets his first D1 win of the season. Of his career. And to get South Carolina State their first win of the season. How you doing, Miss Desi? So we shall. It was a good win. It was a good win. Like I said, they controlled the ball. They ran the ball real well. Timely passes from Eric Phoenix was a must. So, let's see how they do. This game against Georgia Southern, really, they're just going across the border to Statesboro to get their check. But I feel like they're going to try to be competitive in this game. But most importantly, just come out of here with no injuries. No injuries or anything like that. Get your money, go back to Orangeburg, and get ready for North Carolina A&T on the 28th. So that will be a big game right there. I think that would be one of my games of the week on the BX side, and I'm gonna have a game of the week for the SWAC side, SIAC, NCIAA. So we're gonna have games of the week for all four. First of all, I did recheck my list. Now, if you want to come up with your own poll, Mr. Haynes, you are more than welcome to do that. And you are more than welcome to submit it to me. Okay. In fact, go ahead and start. I'm gonna start talking to other people to do a poll. You know, however many first place votes you got, that's what we're gonna check, and that's who we're gonna pick as first place. You know, for first place. Make it fair. Make it fair. Make it fair. You know, it's my poll. I mean, I could have put you in the honorable mention, but y'all gotta win against the Citadel. All right. You could have lost the game. You could have lost the game. Could have lost the game. Point blank, period. Coming in number 6, they didn't move up, they didn't move down, they stayed where they at. Delaware State is coming in at number 6. Hey, Ed, it ain't number 16s in the MEAC. That's the bad thing about it. It ain't number FAMU because he missed a deal. This ain't gonna have 16s in the MEAC and he gonna add FAMU because he missed them. Sound good to you? All right, I got you, big dog. I got you, big dogs. Delaware State coming in number 6. They had their bye week. Of course, they travel all across the world. Really, literally. First loss was against Hawaii. Second, their first win was against Sacred Heart. Now they have Wagner coming into Dover this weekend. I'm gonna see if they could go 2-1. It's been a minute. From what I heard, it's been a minute since Dale State has been. It's been a minute since Dale State has been on. They've been on top. So, but we shall see what happens. Coming in at number 5 is Morgan. They're 1-1. They're coming off a loss, a close loss, tough loss against Towson. Score was 14-9. We're still looking for that offense from from Taj the True Smith, whatever my boy Banks called him. But we know he calls their defense God's defense. We know that they are legit. That is a defense that I can rock with. We just still waiting for that offense to upload. We just waiting on for the offense to upload. That's all we waiting on for. That's all we waiting on for. What, man? Whatever you are smoking, Mr. Haynes, I don't want it. Whatever you are smoking, Norfolk, whatever you are smoking, Mr. Haynes, I don't want it. Anyway, let's finish up. They do got us. Hey. The fandom is speaking to him. The fandom is speaking to him. You know. the fandom is speaking to him. But Morgan, they do head and take go ahead and play a G5 FBS schools in Ohio University, not Ohio State, Ohio University. All right. We shall see. Like I said, last time they went to Ohio, I know it was against Akron. They almost came out with a victory, and it was a close one. We don't know what happened. We shall see what happened. But until their offense loads up, they'll stay where they at number 5. Number four, coming into number 4 is Howard University. They are 1-1, coming off a they are coming off a nail biter. They are coming off a nail biter against Mercyhurst, 32-31, where this game pretty much I was looking for my damn blood pressure medication because damn it. I'm like, how y'all got to do this? Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop try to give people heart attacks. But nah, Jared Hunter doing what he does. The quarterback, the new quarterback that they have, Deshaun Scroggins, is legit. He is legit. I would give that to him. Now I would say this: it wasn't the team. It wasn't the play on the field. I think it was the play calling. So Larry Scott, boy, you better count your days, man. You better count your days because you're gonna be responsible for about 1 million people to have a heart attack every Saturday. You're gonna have everybody have a heart attack every Sunday. I mean every Saturday. Like, come on. Come on. Come on. Do better. Do better. Coming in at number 3, my top 3. In 3rd place right now. I have North Carolina Central coming in 3rd place. Hey, they went out there, thought they had a fighter's chance, and got punched in the mouth by Elon. And from what Mr. McKinnell tells us, he says Elon might win the conference for the CAA. Even though last year Central did beat their team. Central beat the team and Elon. Elon said, "We getting it back in blood." They went up to Durham, punched him in the mouth, and went back home. I wouldn't call Central's QB play questionable. You gotta remember, Walker Harris. Saturday was his 3rd official game that he played. That he's the starter. Just think about that. Just think about that. Just think about that. Walker Harris, who I call Walker Texas Ranger, this is his 3rd official game as being a starter. And this year he's the full-time starter. So I don't think it's questionable. I think he just got to get to me, I just looked at it. You got to get the nervousness out of you, man. You got to iron out the kinks. And so them having the schedule that they have, they go down the road to Chapel Hill and play UNC. the Tar Heels, the flagship school. And we shall see how he goes up against them. And then after that, I think the rest of their schedule is, I wouldn't say it call it a breeze, but they do have some tough, tough opponents. And I think that's the reason why Trey Oliver scheduled it like that. He wants to get his team ready for the gauntlet when it comes down to MEAC play. But this weekend, like I said, go down there, get your money, come back to the house, limit the injuries, and get ready for the next game. That's it, and that's all. That's how you take care of that. Coming in at 1B. Man, fuck it. Coming in at number 2, I got FAMU coming in at number 2. They 2-1. They went, of course, they went down to Miami, took on the U, and got smacked in the mouth. There were chances in this game where FAMU could have made it. It could have made the game interesting. They could have made the game interesting in the first half, especially in the first quarter. They could have cut the lead down to 8 if they would not have got the penalty at the 1 yard. I think it was either the 2 or 1 yard line. Hey, Troy, just be glad that this is the best team in Tallahassee right now. Just be glad. Troy, look at me. Look at me. Just be glad that this is the best team that you have in Tallahassee right now. So, but look, man, y'all bounce back. Come on now. Y'all 2-1. Y'all gonna bounce back. Shoot. Boy, y'all been saying that he did save y'all season last year because y'all did go undefeated until y'all ran into Georgia and their backups. And he said, "Hold my beer." He said, "Hold my beer. We got something for you." But you gotta see, here you go. You got a bye week coming up. Then you gotta go to Alabama. You gotta go to South Alabama. Take on Troy. What you gonna do about that? You gotta take on Troy. Take on Troy. You see what happens after that. Because on the 28th, you start your swag play. You take on Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M are gonna come in. They probably gonna come in with their heads with the heads high because they probably gonna be on a little cool win streak. And then I think after that, you got your gauntlet. You got your gauntlet after. I'm not even counting the FBS games. I'm not counting the Power 4 game against Miami. I'm not counting the G5 game. Miss Berry said that's a win against Troy. We shall see. We shall see. Tell me to get ready. And it's just like I said, this is my poll. I could have flip flopped it. I said one. It's really 1B and 1A is Jackson State coming in at number one. They 1-1. They had a 51-point drubbing against Lane College. And really, I think um, between FBS and Division II, the win against Lane was showing how you start the game, continue to put pressure on the team, and basically you you just dominate. Hey, hey, it can flip. It can flip either way. Yeah. It can flip either way. If y'all go out there, trust me, if you go out there and beat Troy next week, I definitely will put you up there at the top at number one. No, with no questions asked, no doubt about it, nothing like that. I would definitely put FAMU at the top. But you gotta go out there and win. But yeah, I mean, even the crazy thing is in this game, we didn't start Jacobian. People was wondering what was going on. Was he hurt? Was he in? What happened? Did he get in trouble? What? TC just said, I just want to give Cam a try. And what he do, had 200 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns. Right. Right. And like I said, I'm just being fair and honest. If FAMU can beat Troy, they are the unanimous number one. That's all I can say. You can tell Mr. Ford on me. Go ahead and tell Mr. Ford. I'll be here. But y'all know what it is. I mean, you like Morgan better. I like Cam because he gives us a dynamic that you can't teach. You can't teach speed. You can't teach speed. And that was speed right there. I mean, just think about it. Yeah, in the first half of the game on Saturday, Jackson State held Lane to negative 56 yards of total offense. Held a negative 56 yards of total offense. Who does that? Blocked the punt. Scored on almost every other drive. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And then didn't let up in the second half. In fact, we put in the mercy rule. We put in a 2 10-minute running, 2 10-minute quarters, running clock. And we shall see this Saturday. Because why? It's SU hate week. It's Southern hate week. It's FTP. If you saw that game to get that Southern Savannah State game, nah, 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 nah. Hey, this game is bad weather, doesn't matter. The weather should be the storm should be gone by before game time. Um, it should be gone before game time. In fact, to be honest with you, let me look at my weather report. Francine is making landfall Wednesday. So it'll make landfall Wednesday morning. It'll make landfall Wednesday morning. And by the time, and it's a category one, it'll be a category one, and it's going straight up. It's going straight up 55. So all my folks that's in right now that's in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, um, make sure y'all Lafayette, make sure y'all get yourselves straight. Um, make sure y'all, you know, if you ain't got to go nowhere, don't go. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. If you ain't got nowhere to go, stay your ass at home. All right. Uh, so it's gonna make landfall as a category one, and then going over the land, basically, it's gonna die off. So, just if you ain't got nowhere to go, stay at home. All right. If you in places that are low lying, that's susceptible to flooding, get to higher ground. That's it. That's all. All right. But Mr. Haynes, by the time that the game is on Saturday, will be the game is going to be clear by Saturday. It's going to be clear by Saturday. It's going to be clear by Saturday. But anyway, y'all, that is my top 10, y'all. I hope everybody is satisfied other than Mr. Haynes. He says he ain't satisfied. Um Game of the week. The game of the week for this weekend for the SWAC is Jackson State Southern. Game of the week for the MEAC. Let me get my game of the week for the MEAC. My game of the week for the MEAC is The Battle of the Bay, Norfolk State versus Hampton. My game of the week for I'm not. You know what? I don't know. But the more sexy game of the week is the Battle of the Bay. But the true game of the week, yeah, I would say the true game of the week is Dale State versus Wagner. Miss Mary, the Jackson State game is at 6:00. It's at 6:00 this Saturday. And if you, Miss Mary, if you coming from Miami, if you coming to when we play y'all on October the 19th, you got to come and you got to be there early. This game gonna be bonkers. Gonna pack the vet out. Ain't that right, family? Gonna pack out the vet. So let's see my CIAA game of the week. My CIAA game of the week right now. My CIAA game of the week is Johnson C. Smith versus Lincoln, Pennsylvania. And my SIAC game of the week. Let me go ahead and get that. That's for you. I think my SIAC game of the week. I'm gonna go with Clark versus Flomo. Yeah, we gonna SIAC Clark versus Flomo. You got Davenport versus Bowie State. I'm gonna have to get you on here. We gonna talk some D2 football some more, and then. But for me, I got Johnson C. Smith and Lincoln. So, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out. Did I even put? Lord Jesus, I ain't put Tennessee State on my honorable mention, but they had got blown out so bad by damn North Dakota State. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. But yeah, for all my folks in, like I said, South Louisiana, Mississippi, make sure y'all stay y'all asses inside. All right. Stay inside. This storm, even though it's coming in as a category 1, you got to remember all the other things that come with a hurricane. So just stay at the house, chill out, and tune in with either me or Timona or anybody and everybody that has that covers HBCU football. Mr. Haynes, the next show will probably be on. It'll probably be on either Thursday or Friday. It'll probably be Thursday or Friday. No, no. I was saying I was trying to do my poll. I was just trying to do the ranking, and I forgot to put Tennessee State back in the ranking. But I'm like, man, they got beat to sleep. What game? Tell me what game. Put on there what game. There is heat in Nashville. It's called Nashville hot chicken. Oh my goodness, y'all. But anyway, man, I just want to thank everybody for joining me, for tuning in today. We'll be back on here towards the weekend. And then on Saturday we'll have our recap, HBCU recap on HBCU Saturday night with me, with myself, and Uncle Sid. So we'll be on this thing this weekend, giving y'all the recap and our analysis from Saturday's encounters. All right. Oh, that's dirty, bro. That's dirty. Oh, and from what I'm hearing, I will not have a show for Suno. I will not do Suno Night Live this Thursday because of the impending weather tomorrow. So we'll probably pick back up. I don't know, next week or the week after, but we'll get that back up and running in the next couple of days or so, week or so. If you haven't tuned in, make sure you tune in to Suno Night Live on Suno Nights TV, only on HBCU Plus. It is the only show that gives you all details of athletics from the HBCU Athletic Conference. All right, flagship show of the school. Boom. But anyway, y'all, we gonna get up out this thing. I gotta make a Walmart run. Basically, I gotta go grocery shopping. And other than that, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones. And let me say this. Let me say this before we roll up out of here. Let me say this. Last Friday here in the city of Dallas, a 17-year-old kid was unalive across the street from Kincaid Stadium, which is Dallas Independent School District Stadium, where Duncanville and South Oak Cliff was playing. This kid was 17. He was a senior at Kimball High School, Dallas Kimball, and he was unalive by a 16-year-old. The last couple of days, y'all, especially yesterday and today, I have been getting nothing but messages about schools going on lockdown here in the area. A 14-year-old freshman girl, South Oak Cliff, was caught in crossfire and got shot before school let out. She is alive and she is doing well, but all this senseless vibe, this senseless shit, this silly shit right here gotta stop, man. For real. It gotta stop. All this stuff gotta stop. The 16-year-old, I'm put it like this. In the era that I grew up in, we don't do no jumping shit. You want to catch this fade, you're going to get this one-on-one. If you got your ass whooped, you just got your ass whooped. But if you want to catch this fade, you're going to catch this fade. It ain't none of your homeboys trying to jump in and sneak one in on me. Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna, excuse my language, we ain't gonna do no bitch shit. Talking about go get a piece for me. So I'm looking at it like this. You gonna fight somebody, you got beef with somebody that results in you go get a weapon. Then you, my friend, are bitch made. And you're gonna stay bitch made because all you're gonna do is run. Whenever you get your ass whooped, you're gonna run and get a piece. And you think it's gonna take care of everything. But let's not forget, the person holding that piece pulls the trigger. And guess what? Your life is going to be in the hands of 12 folks and a judge. So to all y'all young folks out there, I hope y'all I hope I clip this, y'all clip this and send it to folks out there, to the young people out there right now, because y'all need to hear it. If you got that much animosity towards somebody where you got to go and grab you a weapon to take care of something that these will take care of for yourself, then you bitch made. You bitch made. And that's coming from me. I got kids, I got girls, but I also got nephews, I got cousins, and promise you, I promise you, we ain't made like that. If you get your ass whooped, you just get your ass whooped. And there you go. That's it. You unalive somebody, you gotta understand that somebody that you unalive got people. They got folks. First, you got one part that's gonna be grieving, and the other part they gonna try to hunt your ass down. And that's some real shit right there. And y'all can call it what I mean, y'all young folks could call it the way y'all want to call it. I'm protecting myself. Protecting yourself from what? Protecting yourself from what? Going to get a gun? Because you too scared? You too scared to run up against somebody? You too scared to throw down? But you gotta you gotta get a gun, or you gotta call your homeboys and then to go jump up, go jump in for you. Nah, buddy. Kids these days, I tell my kids, I tell my niece and nephew, I say y'all could not grow up in the generation I grew up in. Me and my sisters grew up in. My older cousins we grew up in. I'm like, look, we grew up in the crack era. You know what I'm saying? But y'all too scared to run the ones. But you gotta go get a piece. I can't respect you. I can't respect you. I can't respect you. But that's my message for the young folks out there. That's my message for the young folks out there. If you can't handle the problem, if you got beef with somebody and you can't handle it with these hands, you don't got no beef. You just a coward. You just bored. If you can't talk it out with the other folks, with that other person, you're a lost cause. You're a lost soul. And they just they itching for you. They just itching for you to mess up and put you in the system. It just like just itching to pull something out. But I hope y'all get that message, man. I hope y'all got the message. Because if you don't get the message, especially here in Texas, I'll holler at you down in Huntsville at the Huntsville unit. I'll holler at y'all at the Huntsville unit. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, in the chat, Uncle Said is talking about the running clock. So if I'm about to drop it now, so we can go ahead and talk about that for a second, and then we roll up out of here. There you go. So part of the running clock is you got to be up by like 8 scores in the first half. And basically you kind of have to discuss it with the other coach. If you feel like you got a chance to come back and make it, you can do that. But other than that, it is what it is.
Hey man, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Sorry, I could be on time. I had an emergency meeting with my staff. I had some fires I had to put out. But I know all the aficionados and the savants in the chat want to know about this new rule. No, that was a good joke too, Jeremiah. No, they didn't just make it up. They adopted it. NCAA adopted it this summer because according to them, it was a lot of blowouts and stuff like that because they have mercy rules, like in baseball and stuff like that. So what happens is if your team goes up by at least 42 points and the other team has not scored at halftime, then it's up to the officials to actually basically say, okay, we're going to have 10-minute running clocks in the second half. And they adopted that because, there was a lot of, if you think about it, they adopted it as well, mental health reasons for kids too, because you don't want to be in a game and you lose the game 87-0, and people running to the sidelines, still trying to keep the clock running and stuff like that. So that's one reason why they adopted the mercy rule. But also the rule states now, let's say if someone goes up 42 points and the team that's down 42 points, they score 7 before the halftime, then the mercy rule, it won't be in effect because, they have a momentum clause where it can possibly be, well, okay, the momentum has shifted. But that's the new mercy rule. And it's adopted through D1 all the way down to D3.
So the thing is, but yeah, too, yeah, the officials and the coaches do have to get you to agree to it also. The reason why, they have to agree to it too. But the reason why this rule was adopted, let's go back 2 years ago. Stephen F. Austin played Warner University down in Nacogdoches. SFA scored 98 points in that whole game. Held that team to like negative 20-some yards of total offense.
Yep.
Couldn't score.
Yep.
And they didn't have a running clock. That's the thing. That was the crazy thing. It was so bad. It was so bad that folks was thinking about like calling the game off because they was going to score 100.
Yeah, they were, and they cited a lot of games like that as well. Because Livingstone College, they had beat someone. They had scored 117 points in one game.
Also, you got to go back. You got to go back like 10, 12 years ago too. Now on the high school ranks, remember there was an article, there was a story out here in Dallas. Well, it ain't Dallas, but it was in Alito. Alito was beating Fort Worth ISD teams like 90-something to 0, 91-7. And I think who was it? South Hill, Fort Worth South Hill.
Yeah, let me answer that with Jeremiah Clark. Yeah, I mean, you think about it, if your team, I mean, if those are safety reasons too. Now, I mean, you got to think the refs still got to get to the bus. I mean, not to the bus, to their cars. I mean, those are, and then you have to also understand those are student athletes as well. You walking around campus, and you just got beat 80-0. So it's protection of everybody. And yes, Crook, yeah, you have to mutually agree. But that's but like I said, being 42 down, there's an option, and then it's brought up. The head whitecap will come to each coach's locker room, and then they'll ask them, and then after then, actually they won't ask them, they'll make a recommendation, and then if all parties agree, then the second half will be a running clock.
And then also, so with that Alito story, remember Alito got they got somebody tried to sue them because they said that the team was bullying because of the fact that they beat them so bad.
Yeah.
So that was another thing. But then too, the running clock did work because Alabama A&M, when they played Auburn, they had a running clock in the second half because Auburn was dog walking A&M. They had a running clock in the second half for Stephen F. Austin versus who was it?
Yeah, and then if you think about it, it protects the players. It protects the players from getting injured. Because you think about it, you might put in your second or your third team, but what if your second or third team is way better than people's starters? Then what's going to happen then? So I mean, it's just a protection thing.
Yeah, North American. Yeah, when they played North American, they were looking to score. They were looking to score 100. The game is shortened because it's like, look, ain't no need for us to play 15-minute second half, 15 minutes, third or fourth quarters out here. Second half, ain't no need for us to play 30 more minutes the second half. Shorten that game up.
When the game is already decided, it's already decided. Like you already know who's going to win. I mean, if your defense has only given up negative 39 yards for the first half, but your offense has scored 300 yards for the first half. I mean, come on, man. Let's not be like that. Because you still have to think about player safety. You still got to think about the mental health aspect. You still have to think about whether the ref's going to be able to get to the bus, to the cars. I mean, you have to think about a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff that plays into that. And yes, it does shorten the game, but I think it's a real good rule. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm put like this: if FAMU didn't score in that first half against Miami, and the way Miami was scoring like that, oh, dude, they would that shit would have got short.
Yeah. And to answer Crook question, no, you can't come up if you seeing a closed practice and you are an official, you can't just come up and just all of a sudden and say, okay, well, I'm Cedric Walker, how you doing, blah, 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 because all that stuff can be looked upon like, okay, they could say I'm still in plays or something like that. So now you can't do that. Only thing you do is just show your badge and then you can stand there and watch.
Yeah,
so,
Pine Bluff. Yeah, Pine Bluff had a running clock against Arkansas Baptist. They had a running clock when they played when Pine Bluff played Arkansas. I mean, the whole thing is you know, it's about sportsmanship. Basically, it's really about sportsmanship. It's about mental health. It's about the safety of the players as far as physically and mentally. You know, it's about, you know, a lot of things. It's literally all about having class. That's all it is.
Yeah,
You're right, Mr. Jackson. It's all about having class.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
um,
And I was very happy that they adopted that rule, man, because it helps, man. It really helps because you just don't know that if you know, so let's say somebody go up and let's say they still throwing in the second half, and then they up, you know, 77-0. You know, there's been instances where players have hit somebody behind the play and they knock somebody kneecap out of place, just because they're mad and they're frustrated. So that goes back to the mental health aspect as well. So, like I said, it's a great rule. I think it's very fair. You know, now are there going to be some old school fans that don't like it? Yes, but I just think as a whole, it's a great rule. And like you said, like Mr. Jackson said, you know, it's a great way to have class and standards, man.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you know, it. I mean, I like it. It's straight. It's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather beat you to sleep, but it's still cool. You know, it's good to have it right there. Um, um, man, I'm out for here, bro. Talking about for the NFL have a run the clock for the mental health of the player. Man, I'm out of here, dog. I gotta go ahead and get some stuff done, man. But we're gonna be back on there more likely either Thursday or Friday, man. And then Saturday too. So you're gonna be up on this thing. Uh uh anything for the folks, Uncle said anything for the folks in Jackson. I think he on the phone call. But yeah, we gonna be up out of here, man. I think he was on a phone call. Or maybe not. I don't know. Can you hear me? Yep, he on the phone call. So we gonna be up out of here, man. Like I said, got a message for the kids out there. We got stuff going on. Got my games of the week for all conferences, and it's still Southern Hate Week, FTP. Well, anyway, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe and hug your loved ones. We out this thing. Until next time, peace.